Hi and good day from Australia. It's Julie Q in Queensland, Australia, pouring for you today on a large canvas. So I haven't got a setup that keeps my camera high enough to get the whole canvas in. Sorry about that, but it is a commission, so I'm just going to film it so you guys see how I do quite a large canvas. This is 101.6 centimeters by 76.2 centimeters. So that's the size of my canvas. I am just going to kiss and roll with it. So yeah, I've put all of my pouring medium that I'm using for this particular pour, the pouring medium recipe and how I've mixed it and what I've added to each cup is the same, and the pouring recipe is in the bottom drop down box underneath this video. So any questions that you may have as regards my online supplier in Australia, there's links there to the Mont paints in US and Canada. So those are all there. The links are all on the bottom and explanations. So hope I've covered that for you. I've mixed up a big load of paint that I'm hoping is going to be enough. I've used absolutely entirely the Mont Studio acrylics. I know it's got school there, but it's the same. It's a nice, rich, thick, creamy paint. So I'm going to I've using all the Mont paints. So it's a nice big canvas, and I better get stuck into it because obviously having a large canvas will take a little bit more time than if I've got small canvas. But I just want to show you probably an easy method for doing big canvases that I find this an easier method. So I'm just going to pour. This is just white that I have pre-mixed in this container, and I'm just basically using up. So we'll just covering the main canvas in the white. So that was pre-mixed with the clear. I've used the clear PVA at 70/30 recipes there, but if you in the US you can use the Helmar's glue all is a good one to use if you're in the US. I'm just spreading this over the canvas with my little silicone spreader thing. So yeah, this is a big canvas, so I've got to kind of work the whole table over the other side and this side. Just probably wouldn't normally spread it. I mean, I do sometimes, but it's just that it's such a big canvas. I want to make sure that the actual canvas has got the base coat of the white underneath, so the other colours that I load it with will just basically slide over it nicely. So having one of these spreaders is a great tool. Spread your paint when you've got a big canvas like this. I do like using my fingers to just finger paint, spread it, but yeah, this is an easier way when it's this size canvas. Just quickly work it. Hope you're all having a good weekend. It is a Sunday here in Australia. I'm not sure when this video will go to air on my YouTube channel, but Sunday here in Australia. We've had family come visit, sons and daughters, and had a nice big curry night together, so that was enjoyable. But hopefully that you've all got somebody to have time with, whether you've got family or friends, or if you're alone and you have animals, that they're equally as nice company, I believe. I love time with our animals. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about the very edges because as I go, hopefully I'll be tilting the paints that I put on top around. It seems a little bit high in the center, so I have put a push pin underneath. I prepared this canvas by I put the tape underneath, so I'll have the nice neat edge. I put the tape underneath, and I put push pins, several, and I did actually put a giant push pin in the center. So I'm just hoping, because I never actually put my little what you call it, spirit level on to see if it was level, which I probably should have. That's neglect from me doing such a large canvas. I should have done that. I'll just make sure I've got plenty of paint in the center. So just a bit more white. I have put just 2 drops of silicone in all of these big cups. I only wanted 2 drops of the Helmar silicone because I want some cells, but I don't want to be overloaded. Now this was brilliant white, and I just added very touch of the orange because I want it kind of like skin tone. But do big swirls, big swirls. I'm getting all the colours. I want all the colours to be everywhere on this one. So it's nice big swirls. Yes, it all kind of looks like a real big mess, big dog's dinner, but hopefully it will turn out beautiful. You have to have faith, and you know, if it doesn't, don't stress over it, because as I say, it's only paint, no big deal. Okay, going to go with the brilliant orange. So this particular mix is, I mean, it has some substance to it, but it's not particularly thick because I've got such a big canvas. I want to be able to tilt. I want the acrylic to be quite fluid, so to run all over the canvas. So it's got some body to it, but it's not thick. It's very difficult to try and explain consistency, I find. Yeah, this is one of the sort of bigger size canvases that I do. The only other one that I've done is the 150 by, I think it's 150 by 60 is another big one. Sort of any bigger than that, and you've got to have obviously a real big table to work on. And this is the biggest I've got at the moment. I think I've showed you, I have painted a door to my art room I did it in a swipe, so that was having the door hanging off the table. It was hard because I did it on my own, so trying to tilt it was a little bit difficult, but I did get there in the end and it's done. But I certainly would like to have another go at it. Okay, I just want to add a little bit of water to this. I've got the bright yellow, but I want to add a little bit of water to take it down a little bit more fluid. As I said, I want these paints to basically all meld into one another when I tilt, so probably doing a canvas this big is good if you've got a second person so you can tilt equally, unless my husband or my son walks in. That's not going to happen today, so ooh. So it's big swirls today instead of lines. You know, I sometimes do in lines, and there might be squiggly lines, but they're lines. Today it's big swirls, so I'm going to see how that turns out on this big canvas. And I really don't want to stress about it. If I keep thinking, you know, it's whatever happens, happens, and if it's that bad, yes, I've wasted a lot of paint, but I can scrape the paint off and collect it in a big jug, so it's always good for undercoating something or a base coat. But you know, I don't want to stress about it. Okay, and just put a little bit of blue in. This is the phthalo blue. Probably should pour a little bit into a smaller cup because that's going to just be a bit uncontrollable. So just pour, as I will reuse that on another canvas. Maybe I start in the center with this one. Wow. It kind of looks effective all on its own. Got to get this colour in here because this is my big bowl of turquoise. I just love my turquoise with these colours too. Okay, where shall I start on this one? Can't play nicely together, you guys. You colours just play nicely together. Don't go into one big mud pie for me. Don't muddy up. That's your only hope. But you know, like I said, you can't stress about it. It's only paint. It's not life-threatening. Yeah, kind of like doing a big workout, painting this large. It's quite a task, because you end up spending quite a lot of time afterwards, you know, touching it up here and touching it up there. But we go with the flow. Just a little bit of, this was white with the, what did I add in there? It must have been the blue. A little bit of blue, so it's kind of turned it like a lilac-y colour. I'm just gonna run that round my edges. I've got this colour to tilt. As I say, I don't stress about the edges while I'm doing the main part of the painting, because they can always be fixed up after, when you've got your biggest part correct. Okay, not too much of this because I certainly have got a lot of paint, so it's going to be a lot of tilting off, and it's going to be quite heavy, as I said, to tilt this amount of paint. So I just have to take it slowly, relax, breathe. Don't forget to breathe, that's always important. Okay, so sorry that you're not seeing every bit of it, but too big a canvas to, just gently tilting it. Okay, I've got big giant push pins underneath, so just trying to do it slowly. It's going off more to one side than the other. The thing, you don't want this canvas to warp right out of, because of the weight of the paint is obviously very heavy on it. I'll just tilt it down the other way, just nice and slow, just relaxing about it. Okay, gonna go around the other side, and it's bright, isn't it? It's really uplifting and bright. So you can quite easy at this stage just like finger pop your edges if you're the very corners, instead of worrying about trying to tilt your paint over the edges. No big deal. So I'll just lift it. This is obviously so much easier if you've got two of you working on it. Have a lot of paint, but it's got a big canvas to stretch all over, and I want those colours to meld in together. Let's try and give it a little lift that way. Like I said, you can collect this paint, scrape it up afterwards, your leftovers, and scrape it into a jug, and if you so wish to do so, you can use it as an undercoat on a big canvas, to pre-coat canvas. So I guess what you're seeing at the moment is just like a big hurricane of colour. It's going to be bright. That was the brief, bright. I was going to add the red in it, but they didn't want any pink, so adding red, obviously with light or white colours, there's a big chance that it will go pink, pinkish. I didn't want that. Just this. I love those colours together. You know, there's no muddying. Touch wood, no muddying at present time, but that doesn't mean to say that won't happen when I start to swipe away. But you know, just try your best, because sometimes they can go from tragic to magic. So let magic happen today, please, pouring gods. Sorry if you're getting a big eye full of colour there, because I'm tilting it towards the camera now, but I've just got to take my time, and this is what I want you to do if you attempt to do a big canvas, particularly swipe like I'm going to do, and you're having to tilt your paint. Just take your time about it, just relax, no biggie. Ooh, look at those colours. I mean, that looks absolutely wonderful as it is, really. That's really nice. So a lot of people, like you'll see on office spaces, big canvas, a lot of the home show homes have got big canvases just like this, with the colours like that, all poured and looking gorgeous as they are, and nothing else is required, because that's a lovely abstract look all on its own. You be very careful now from this point of it going muddy, so I'm just trying to re-center, send it back down a bit. See, I didn't put too much of that dark blue, and it's kind of taken over really well there. Okay, I'm just looking now for my, I'm just going to swipe it with a couple of large soft plastic file dividers. So these are what I'll use to swipe this particular piece. So she said, what colour does she swipe it in? Well, I've actually got a chocolate brown, but I'm going to do just a little test bit, because there's too much, a lot more blue than I wanted. I'm thinking I might just put in some more of the, it's like this one is like a sherbet orange. Just added a little bit more white to it. I don't know, just don't want it to go, don't want it any darker, so think. I'll just try, I'm just gonna try this chocolate brown for a swipe. Just trying to add a bit of light in these darker parts. Anyhow, we'll just got this chocolate brown, so it was burnt umber and I added a blob of black, but not too much, so I didn't send it. And I've done it quite thin because I don't want the brown to be the dominant colour in this. So let's just try. Just try that brown, just a very small amount. And come on, pouring gods, be with me today. Okay, I've got no room here too. Oh, not sure about that. Oh, think. What would you do, guys? What would you do? I don't, remembering that I don't want it dark, it's to remain light, so I will just see, and then I might add my heat wand so I can see what colour we're going to end up with, what effect we're going to end up with. So I'll pop my heat wand, wonder wand as I like to call it. Okay, this might be a little bit more. Okay, when your plug won't go in the plug hole. What is going on here? Oh, okay, done it. Here we go. Let's just try this area. Not actually too much brown showing up in that, is there? Oh, think. Maybe I'll try white, just plain old white in this end. Let's see how we go with that. If it doesn't, I'll just go over it with brown. It's all good. Just work it out as you go. Look at that. That's actually beautiful. Looking good. I just want to try the white. Come on. It's quite a long way. It's got a swiper. I knew that this particular piece of file divider's bent. So I'll try and find straight ones. What's going on here, guys? Behave yourselves. Try again. Go through it again. Okay, that seems a little better. It's quite a warm day here in Australia, very warm, so it will be making my paint sort of sticky up pretty quick. Not worried about the ends at all. Do the other side. Love this actually. It's becoming, that's quite lovely on that brown side. So we'll compare sides, and it doesn't matter if it's got different colour swipes in it. It really doesn't. It just adds to the interest, I believe. Okay, so let's see how we go. I'll just give that a wonder wand. So easy, you just hold on to your cord. It's not difficult. Your cord, look, it's canvas this size, and the cord does not drop in the canvas if you're half careful. Just heating up the paint slowly, this does, instead of burning it. So I just finding that I'm using this now all the time instead of the butane torch. Absolutely wonderful, I think. Oh my goodness. Look at the different outcome from white to brown. I'm actually love the brown, but I'm thinking that the person I'm doing it for might not like the brown. But thinking probably they'll go for the more softer colour. Oh, I wish I had you guys on what you call it, live, so you could, but then again I'd probably be confused, wouldn't I, from all the different requests. Oh my god, this is so difficult for me, because I'm saying no, I love that, go with that, but the client I'm thinking will go with the light. So isn't it, it's so, I do not really like doing commissions at all, because my taste, I seem to have to follow my own heart, my own heart in art. Oh geez Louise. Oh, I have to have a think about this. I'm gonna go with the brown. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna put a thin line, try and put a real thin line. You know what? If it doesn't work out, I will sell that to someone else and redo the piece for the client, because I love this. Sorry. I have to go with what I want to do. What's that missing out there? Don't stress over it, just take it back over, because once you've put your heat wand on it, it'll get rid of any little indiscretions like that. So just relax about it. It's absolutely fine. Fine. I'll just grab another one. I haven't got the area to keep wiping my swipey tool down with, because the canvas fills the whole area up. And this is when you kind of second guess and thinking, oh, I shouldn't have gone with what I want. You've got to go what the client want. And it's like, I don't want to do it. I want to do what my heart desires in my art. So these are the dilemmas that you face when you're asked to do something that, you know, you wouldn't do for yourself. Anyway, it'll all work out fine, I'm sure. I'm not going to worry too much about where those bits have gone a bit, because they'll add a bit of contrast to it. It's all good. Okay, another piece. Do I? I'll go from there. Need to add. I love this. I love that effect. And that the brown will basically disappear. I'm pretty sure it's so fine a swipe line. Oh. Come on, baby. Okay, okie doke. Yeah. Nice and slow. Good job I've got loads of these soft plastic file dividers to do this. So I'm just using a different one for every swipe, so I don't have to keep cleaning each one off. You have to clean off your scrapey tool so you don't drag the colours back over and create it into help mud accumulate. So one more. Okay. Oh, this side's drying. Oh my goodness. Like I said, we're in a real warm day here and it's drying off pretty quickly, but I've got that done. Look at the cells though in that first side. Okay guys, my next stage was, I've just left it only a few minutes because it will develop further, but I'm going with balloon sliding, my thing that I've given a go at sliding the balloon through the paint, and it brings out all the lovely colours that you've actually got under there. So I'm going to just give you a brief balloon slide demo because I don't want this particular video to be too long for you. So we're going with the balloon slide. So I've got my trusty balloon. I'll keep trying to keep it wiped off in between slides. So it's just basically sliding your balloon through gently, not pushing it right to the very bottom, because then there's the risk that you could be taking all your paint off. So it's just basically a slide through your paint to add this, well, serpents under the sea, maybe serpents under the sea, just to add a bit of interest and movement. And I'm just going for it. I'm just bringing some of these lovely colours up around the canvas. So just putting your balloon down very gently and sliding it through the paint. So obviously if you're doing a big canvas like this and you don't want to risk doing something new that you haven't tried, then probably try on smaller canvases. But I just wanted to do, it's going to create a big feathery effect throughout the canvas. The cells are turning out absolutely gorgeous. They've gone larger because I did thinner mix, which was intentional. And so these last little bit of this balloon sliding, all good, happy endings. Okay. Well, I will come back, take some photos when it's dry. It's looking bright and vibrant and it's really lovely. So please guys, have a go at balloon sliding. Come join me on my Acrylic Art by Julie Cube Facebook page, and I have a group there for people that would like to post their art to show me. We have several moderators looking after that for me, because I obviously do see what you post, but I don't have a chance to comment on everything because I've got my art page and my YouTube channel. So spreading myself a bit thin lately. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you've enjoyed this big balloon slide. Another happy adventure, another happy ending. So this will develop further, or there'll be some photos on the end of this video. Thanks for joining me again. I truly appreciate each and every one. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the notification button. Until next time's exciting episode, bye for now.